Please, just talk. Do something. Make a contribution. Do something, god damn it. Fucking speak!
Love and leg drops, bitches.
Peace, love, and leg drops.
Peace, love, and leg drops.
Peace, love, and leg drops. We love to crop. We love to crop. Peace, love, and leg drops.
Peace, love, and leg drops.
Fuck you.
After Party Hangover.
Welcome to the After Party Hangover Part 1. I am your host, Mangria Fueled, and this is the show that talks about a show that talks about a show. Today's guest, potential serial killer, PeterWayneKent. How is it going, my man?
It's going great over here. How you doing?
Doing good. It's been a busy day, but I'm glad we finally get this time to interview you. And as we always do here on The Hangover, the very first question, it might be straightforward, but explain the Instagram name.
Well, I'm a fan of superheroes, so I just combined Superman, Spider-Man, Batman's name, and
I
that's
knew
how
it.
I got my Instagram.
I knew it. That's the first thing that came to my head, because when you first started coming on the Instagram questions, Jake goes, PeterWayneKent, and he goes, oh, sounds like a serial killer. I was like, wait a minute, Peter Parker, Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent. He never connected the dots, but I guess we're bigger nerds than he is, I suppose. But that's cool, man. That's cool. How did you start watching wrestling? Like, how were you introduced to this weird, dramatic world of performance art?
Well, my dad got me and my brother into it I'm old, so the early 80s. I probably saw WrestleMania 1 when I was little, but I don't remember it that well. I probably remember, like, WrestleMania 4 and 5 better, you know?
Oh, yeah. That's cool. Did you have a favorite wrestler back then? Were you a Hulkamaniac, brother?
I was Ultimate Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior. Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
How did you discover the Steel Real After Party podcast?
I used to work with a buddy, and he had a podcast, and I never listened to podcasts before, so he knew I loved wrestling, so he told me he started his own, so I just kept looking for more wrestling podcasts, and now I'm addicted to podcasts.
Okay.
And I found the original Still Real Radio, and I was wondering if they just stopped doing it, and then all of a sudden, like everybody else, it just popped up Still Real After Party, so I started listening to them.
So a buddy turned you on to podcasts, and you just started searching through all the wrestling podcasts and found the Steel Real Radio?
Yep.
Okay. How do you listen, and when do you listen to the podcast?
As soon as I get off work at 3:30, I refresh it on Tuesdays, and it's there, and I listen to it on my way home.
Oh, nice. You got a long commute?
No, it's not that far. As soon as it pops up on there, I listen to it.
Yeah. Do you have
it takes me about a day and a half to finish listening to it.
Do you have a favorite segment?
Just anything that Zanka says is hilarious as shit.
Did you catch this past week's, the Dumpster Daddies?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. Out of all the wrestlers you've been watching over the years, and you know, there's dozens and dozens of theme songs out there. Is there any one particular song that's your favorite?
Man, to this day, D-Generation X.
Oh, nice. Definitely.
DX. I still listen to it when I lift weights.
Oh, that's awesome. Favorite superstar? Is it Ultimate Warrior of all time, or do you have a current favorite?
It was Ultimate Warrior, and then when he disappeared, and The Undertaker, it was Undertaker. It's still The Undertaker to this day, but I know he should be long and gone by now, but he's not.
Oh, yes. As long as that money keeps coming in, we're going to hear that gong till he's dead. For reals.
And fans will still pop.
Yeah. How about a favorite match of all the years of your watching wrestling?
I gotta say, it's still the damn Brett and Austin match.
Oh, from
When he
WrestleMania
started
13.
bleeding and passed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
That match is good on so many levels. A double turn, and it's a classic that will never get old, and you could watch it to this day and still get invested in that matchup. How about
Even
what was that?
Sorry, I was just gonna say, even that damn Shawn Michaels Ric Flair moment when he says, "I'm sorry, I love you." That
Yeah.
still gets me, man.
The room got a little dusty that day. How about a gimmick match? You know, there's Hell in a Cell, Royal Rumble, Ladder, Hardcore. Do you have any favorite gimmick match that they do over and over?
It's got to be Hell in a Cell because of Undertaker, man.
Hell in a Cell.
It's just not Hell in a Cell.
Any favorite Hell in a Cells with Taker in it?
Probably the first one, I think, or was it the second one when he dropped Mankind through the cage?
Yeah.
Was that the first one?
I believe it was the second one at King of the Ring when he took on Mankind. The first one was Shawn Michaels at Bad Blood long time ago.
Yeah, that's right.
You know the one no one ever
that one.
brings up is the one where Taker fought Lesnar in Hell in a Cell, and Taker was just bloody throughout the whole match, and Brock Lesnar just beat the shit out of him and won. That might be the one that's brought up the least, but I still think that one was a classic one, even though Taker lost.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. I gotta check the network now because there's times when I stop watching it for a while and then I come back into it.
Did you ever play?
I just got so much to do.
Did you ever play the WWE
Sorry.
video games like back in the day?
Back in the day, I played the SmackDowns, the Raws, the WCW Nitro, all those ones,
The ones on the Nintendo 64?
and the PlayStation. Yeah,
Yeah, the classics. Those were always fun. Did you have a go-to character that you always picked? Was it Taker?
it was always Taker for WWE, and WCW was always Sting. Those are like two of my favorites right there. They never had a match.
Well, just you wait. At the next Saudi show, it's going to be Undertaker versus Sting.
It ain't gonna be good though, like it would have been 20 years ago.
So now that I've interviewed you, when I make you in APPW, what moveset would you like?
Probably the Undertaker's.
Undertaker.
I'm not that tall, but it's the Undertaker's.
How tall are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm almost 6 foot.
I put the correct dimensions in as well. So how much do you weigh?
I'm 240, but it's gonna make me look fat. I'm not really fat because I lift weights.
Well, I'm 300, and we got other 300. Wait, the Mega Pounders with cheese. I mean, come on. Wear that fat proud, brother. Alrighty, well, we got through all the questions, so let's talk about PeterWayneKent is a father. I just was trolling your Instagram and noticed you have a daughter.
I have 2 boys and a girl.
Oh, wow. Do any of them get into watching wrestling?
My 10-year-old son is a fan. He wants to be a wrestler when he grows up.
Oh, shit. Was he like the John Cena's and the Roman Reigns?
Well, when he first started watching it like 3 years ago, he was a John Cena fan. And then one of my favorites finally came from Ring of Honor and TNA when I almost stopped watching it. AJ Styles. He got me to keep watching it. And he's a fan of AJ Styles.
Nice.
He even grew out his hair to be AJ Styles for Halloween.
So he had the soccer mom do when he was trick-or-treating?
Yep, if you see it on my Instagram, I'm pretty sure there's a picture of him on there as AJ Styles.
That's cool, man. Well, apparently we just missed each other in Las Vegas. What were you doing in Las Vegas?
Me and my wife were celebrating our anniversary.
Oh, nice. That was the...
Yeah, I seen that you were going too, and I was like, oh, shit, maybe I could bump into him. Maybe we could do something, but we missed each other.
I can't believe you were around that same area at the piano bar that I was.
Yeah, I was just going back to the hotel from, we just saw Piff the Magic Dragon, and we were just going back to the hotel, and I popped on Instagram. I was like, oh, shit, we just missed each other.
How was Piff?
He's funny, man. He's funny. He's real funny.
I remember
Does magic comedy.
our very first anniversary back in 2012 was our first trip to Vegas. We stood at Circus, and because that was the most affordable one. And we saw the Cirque du Soleil show, Mystere. That was a pretty good show. One of the performers stepped on my arm. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, we went last year and seen Carrot Top too. He was funny.
Is it worth it to see him?
Carrot Top is worth it to see it live. He was hilarious, man. My wife was laughing the whole time.
I want to do the Vegas checklist where you see David Copperfield, you go see the Siegfried and Roy Tigers, and seeing Carrot Top is like one of the Vegas staples that is like on a bucket list once you go there. We crossed off the Neon Museum on that bucket list, and I would have seen Carrot Top by now, but my wife hates his guts, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to see him. I think it's the hair.
Shit.
Well, what else did you do in Vegas?
She wanted to see Zumanity, so we saw Zumanity, and then mostly just gamble and lose money.
Zumanity is one of the best Cirque shows they got because of the topless girls, and it's a little more risque than the other shows. We've seen all of them, and the worst one is Cirque du Soleil Ka, the one at MGM. That one is horrible. It's because one of the performers died like a month before we went to go see it. So because that person died doing a certain stunt, they replaced that stunt with a video screen. It was pretty lame. But hey, we crossed it off the list.
Yeah, you got to check out that haunted museum I was telling you about. That thing, it's creepy and cool, man. If you're into creepy and cool stuff.
Did you go in every single room? Because isn't there like different rooms where you have to sign waivers or some shit?
Yeah, you have to sign a waiver, and they take you on a tour of the entire building. I think it takes about an hour and a half to go through each room, and they tell you a story behind the room.
Did you bring any spirits back with you?
For a while, I thought shit was fucking with me, man, because stuff was happening at work and at home.
No.
Like, what the hell?
Someone,
all of a sudden, it just went away. Bad luck stopped happening.
And then someone rang your doorbell, and you opened the door, and Annabelle was sitting there. Jeez. Now, my wife is kind of real, like, superstitious, and, like, she's real... She doesn't want anything to do with that, so I don't think we'll ever go to that. It's kind of creepy. My little sister went. She loved it, but it's just another thing to cross off the list on stuff to do in Vegas. It's always fun. So, what other interests do you have besides wrestling? Do you watch a lot of movies? Do you have any favorite TV shows, or do you do sports or anything?
I work out a lot lately because, like I said, I just turned 40 in September, but I act like I'm still in my 20s because I don't look like I'm 40. Everybody thinks I'm in my late 20s, early 30s. And I keep telling myself, I'm going to get buff, and go to a wrestling school and just do independent on the side. But I never follow through. I get chicken shit.
If you did enroll in a wrestling school and you made it to wrestle a couple exhibition matches, what would your name be? Would it be PeterWayneKent, or would you have another alias as a wrestling name?
I'd probably use that, but I go by Mick at work. My name's Michael, so I go by Mick. Because there's too many damn Michael world, so there's not enough Micks. So I just use Mick. I always say I'd be called Mick the Undertaker, but I get sued for that.
Oh, man. Well, so you're working out a lot, you're in shape, you got a baby face, because do you still get carded when you buy alcohol or cigarettes?
Not really, because I got a beard now, so they really. But when I have a clean shaven face, they will card me. When I have my beard, they don't bug me for it.
Well, speaking of that, not to get weird or anything, but I'm gonna need a picture of your face not smiling from your shoulders up, so I can get an idea of what you look like to put you in the game.
I've been listening to the last 5 or 6 episodes of The Hangover, because the only reason I haven't really listened to it is because it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's a pain in the butt to hook up to my car to listen on the way to work.
Yeah.
But I just started doing it lately. And I heard that you were a Sunny in Philadelphia fan. That show is one of the greatest shows ever, man. I've watched it, the whole series, at least 3 times. Fucking Danny DeVito is funny as hell in that show.
You know, I watched it a while ago because it was on Netflix. Like, the entire series was on Netflix. So I'd say about 3 years ago, I watched the entire series. And then all of a sudden, Jake and Zenka start talking about it on the podcast. I was like, oh, shit, they're into it, too.
That's why I asked him a question about Dennis a couple months ago.
Yeah. Well, you got yourself a gimmick now, because every time you ask a question, you include a serial killer's name. And I remember the other week when you didn't have one, Jake was all disappointed.
Yeah, that's why I started thinking about this stuff.
When you post,
and then somebody thought it was Lizzie Borden from freaking XPW or whatever it was called.
Yeah. You mentioned you messaged on my post. You said, well, I said I make the people I interview. Are you next? And you said, am I? Under it, I was gonna put, who am I interviewing next week on The Hangover? PeterWayneKent or Peter-Wayne Gacy? I was gonna get clever with that, but I was like, nah, I don't know if everyone will get it or not. Isn't it John Wayne Gacy or something? It's a different name, right?
Yeah, it's John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, so I just skipped it.
Oh, shit.
So, you're into weightlifting, you want to be a potential wrestler, you're a father, you went to Vegas. Well, how are you going to finish this year out? How are you going to spend your Christmas and New Year's?
Hopefully not working a lot, but that's probably going to happen. I'm surprised I got today off to talk to you.
What do you do, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm a quality tech at a dog food manufacturing plant.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we pretty much run when they tell us to run.
Yeah.
So get at least 2 days off a month, that's it.
Well, you get the holidays off, right?
Hopefully. I'll find out soon. They're trying to work it into there. They're trying to make us work 17 days until Thanksgiving.
Jeez.
Stuff happens, so we got lucky and got today off.
Well, do you have...
What do you do for
Oh, I'm a custodian for the school district, so we're lucky. We're spoiled, really. We get all the same days off that the kids do, except for Christmas and Thanksgiving. We have to come in day shift. Usually I work nights. So that's how I listen to the podcast, is I just put my earbuds in while I'm vacuuming or, you know, cleaning the restrooms or whatever. I can listen to multiple podcasts at a time. So I kind of got it good that way. And then for vacations, we get paid vacations and all that shit. So I'm pretty much spoiled.
Yeah, lucky.
Just going to spend Christmas and Thanksgiving with the family, and usually New Year's, me and my wife stay up and get drunk and watch New Year's Rockin' Eve on the fucking TV.
No Twilight Zone for you?
No Twilight Zone.
That's my favorite show, too.
Do you have anything you want to plug while you're on The Hangover?
Not really, just my Instagram, PeterWayneKent.
Follow at PeterWayneKent on Instagram.
I got a question for you. How the heck do you always get the dang wrestlers to do stuff for Jake and Zenka's podcast, man? It's trippy.
Well, money talks, my friend. Money talks. Go on Cameo. You pay for it. They'll say whatever you want. As a matter of fact, I just sent Jake the cameos of Peyton Royce and Matt Taven. I believe he's going to use one of them as the intro for next week's podcast. But yeah, it's pretty fucking cool that all the wrestlers are down like that. There's only one I never told anyone about that didn't come through. I purchased Scarlet Bordeaux to plug the podcast and the Chrome-Offs. And I didn't hear shit for 90 days. And then I got an email saying, "We're sorry, but Scarlet Bordeaux does not do videos anymore." I was like, oh, shit. It would have been fucking epic, dude.
Sorry. Hey, did you go to the NXT War Games in LA too?
No, I only went for Survivor Series, but yeah, I wish I would have went because I'm a diehard NXT guy now. Man, I love NXT.
Yeah, I took my kids to that last year. I was all, maybe I bumped into them there and don't remember it.
Oh shit, you went to War Game? It was at the Staples Center, right? Or was it at a different building?
No, it was at Staples Center.
How badass was it live?
It was awesome. My son had a time of his life there, man. I've taken him to tons of wrestling events. And he'd probably say that was one of the best ones because of the cage.
Were they doing any autograph sessions, like the morning of?
I don't know, because I'm an hour away from LA, so we went probably an hour and a half, 2 hours before the show started. So if they did, we didn't catch it.
You know, I follow WWE appearances on Instagram, and everybody else follow them if you want to keep up on the autograph signings. That's how I found out about the Miz in San Francisco, was through that. So if you ever want to look them up, check them out. If you go to a wrestling event, they'll have Cricket Wireless signings, usually in the same town that the event is taking place in. But you got an autograph. Why don't you tell the crowd which autograph you got, and you got a picture with a certain wrestler.
King Taven?
That's
Is that
right.
who you're referring to?
That's right, King Matt Taven. You saw him in person. He plugged the podcast. Tell us how that was like, man.
It was cool. My son, we went in March for his birthday, so he wants to go again next March. Hopefully they have the anniversary show again. So I took pictures of my son with the wrestlers, and he wanted Matt Taven again so he could sign his picture with him. So we went up to him and asked him if he could sign his picture, and he did.
He seems like a cool guy.
Hey. Yeah, he's pretty cool. And then later on during the day, we went back down for the show, and we took our poster board with his podcast and the Kingdom on the front cover. I'm like, hey, do you mind if I take a picture of this and send it to Zenka? He goes, Zenka will get a kick out of this.
Also, he knew exactly who you were talking about?
Yeah.
That's badass, dude. Were you nervous when you went up to him to meet him?
Not really the first time, because you go take your kid to go take the picture, and I was like, I saw him just standing there. He didn't have any fans waiting to get signed from him, and I was like, let me see if I could ask him. I didn't want to seem like a jackass going up to him. Hey, can you mind taking a picture with me to send to this podcast I listen to? And his podcast was on there too, so he didn't mind it.
Oh, damn. That's bad. Yeah, he seems like a really cool guy. I mean, he made that video for me, and then, you know, he's been on the After Party podcast a couple times, and he's possibly going to be on for the 100th episode. They're still kicking around a few ideas from that one. Yeah, I need to start watching his matches because he seems like a really cool guy. And he's in the Kingdom, right?
The Kingdom is disbanded now because Vinny turned on him.
Oh, shit. Is that what that...
He hit him in the head with the axe and sliced his head open.
Jesus.
Yep. I told my son he was disappointed.
Well, shit. Hopefully things turn around. Would you want to see a Matt Taven in WWE or AEW?
Probably AEW, because he would get to keep his name and all that.
Yeah.
And we went to the tapings the night after he lost the title, and I was like, man, I hope he does not go to WWE. I hope he does not go to WWE. And he came out and he gave his little speech. He said he's sticking around. I was like, yes, don't know if you can see me. I stood up, started clapping, and I never clap for anything.
Well, that's badass, dude. Man, would you ever purchase the Ring of Honor World Championship and have him sign it?
My wife said I could, but I didn't do it. My brother can't. I took my brother with us. His first Ring of Honor show. He enjoyed it because we went the Friday and Saturday. But Friday night he bought the damn title. I'm like, you asshole. So now he has a freaking nice ass Ring of Honor title displayed at his house.
Oh man, he's just rubbing it in your face. Well,
and then my son, the 10-year-old who wants to be a wrestler, guess what his name is? It's after a wrestler.
It's the phenomenal one.
Triple H.
Oh shit!
His nickname is Triple H.
The King of Kings.
Yep, his first name is Hunter.
Oh, nice.
My wife got upset. My wife got upset when she found out the wrestler's name was Hunter. She just thought I wanted to name him Triple H.
Hunter is a great name, man. You know, regardless of its ties to WWE, Hunter is one of those rare names you don't come across lately. Well,
yeah.
Before we get too far away, let's go ahead and give Matt Taven a plug. Follow the Matt Taven on Instagram and at Matt Taven on Twitter. Shoot him a tweet and tell him he's in the Still Real Hall of Fame celebrity wing.
I forgot about that.
Hey, I've been dabbling with a Lucha name generator for all the Still Real After Party universe, and I just did yours. And PeterWayneKent, if you ever become a luchador, your official luchador name is Cubano Gigante, which basically means a giant Cuban. I don't know if your ethnicity is Cuban, but there you go, man. You can have that one. All right, man. Do you have any other questions for me?
Not that I can think of, but your shit's good, and sorry about your loss of your truck, man.
Yeah, I know. It's just a whole bunch of bullshit I gotta go through now. They're sending an adjuster on Monday, see how much money it's gonna cost to fix it. But luckily, nobody got hurt, so that's good. But man, thank you for coming on the Hangover. Thank you for spending your time with us, and we get to know the real PeterWayneKent. You're not a serial killer, right?
No, but my wife has compared me to Dexter Morgan.
So when Jake called you a serial killer, did you get a pop out of that?
At first, I was like, oh, what the fuck, man? And then he just kept doing it, so I was just going with it, laughing and shit. I told my wife. She fucking found it funny as hell.
So you just embraced it? You're like, fuck it.
Yep, that's why I started asking him the serial killer versus the wrestler or normal everyday person's name. Yeah, the one they didn't get was Mick Dundee versus Mick Taylor from the Wolf Creek movies.
They didn't really understand the Aleister Crowley reference either. Zenka thinks he's a magician. Well, hey, are there any serial killers named TC Rodriguez or TC?
I'm not sure about that one.
That's my name. You got to try and find a TC serial killer. But instead of who would win in a fight, who would win in a pie eating contest, I'd have a better chance at that.
What's the stipulation for that one?
Liposuction on a pole match.
How about liposuction when you're eating the pie?
Yeah, it comes in one hole, goes out another. Alrighty, man. Well, once again, thank you for spending time with us. And as always, all hail Linda's Bush.
All right, your boy Julius _Caesar here. And Mangria has asked me to pick a tag team for the tag team Crumos. So I was looking into it, looking at teams, and I said, man, you know what? I can't go with these Hall of Famers. I can't go with these guys. No, I had to go somebody like us, decent. So here is my most decently fine team that I could think of. Booker T and Goldust, you damn right. Damn right. One title reign, maybe like 3 weeks long. That's pretty much a decent stretch. And you know what? Backstage, they killed it every damn segment. You think I'm lying? Get your ass on YouTube and look it up, all right? You know what it is. So when it's your turn to pick and you're talking to Mangria, hit the dark horse. Booker T and Goldie. I'm just saying. Decently great. Decent at best. And if you got a problem with my pick, see me in the comments on Tuesday.
Are you having a Sam kind of day? You know what makes me sick? Is how WWE Creative treats all of us fans like a bunch of special needs kids. Oh, you know, we have the Universal Championship on Raw, it'll be red. If we put it on SmackDown, it'll be blue. Oh, so fucking creative. And then you're gonna put that blue piece of shit on The Fiend? Can't you do better than that, WWE Creative? Why you gotta fuck with us like that? What the fuck are you looking at? Use your indicator, mate! Are you having an Andy kind of day? Hey, baby. I'm here to do 2 things. Eat ass and spit truth. And I'm all out of truth.
I'm right here for you. I know it's going to be good to you.
No matter what kind of day you're having, always remember, SRAP is for everyone. So kick back and crack a beer with CBG. Rest your head on Linda's big old demon bush. And open up your ear holes for some decent wrestling talk every Tuesday. It's the Steel Reel After Party. Download wherever you get your podcasts. I get mine from iTunes. Peace, love, and leg drop.